Hi friends, welcome to this yoga practice today. One of my subscribers requested a quadriceps focus class, so we're going to take this yoga practice focusing on some of the whole body, but really targeting the quadriceps. So grab your mat and let's get started. So we're going to start this practice standing at the top of your yoga mat with the feet hip width distance apart. Take a moment to close your eyes and arrive in your body in your Tadasana mountain pose. Shoulder blades melting down onto the back, knees a little bit soft. And go ahead and lift up all of your toes, feeling the four corners of the feet connect to the ground. Spread your toes, and that's going to kind of engage and lift the quadriceps muscles, and then let the toes melt down. We're going to bend the knees, then press straight, and do that a couple times. Bend, and then press straight. Inhale, bend, and then press straight. Take a moment to feel the lift through the crown of the head and set your intention for today. Let your intention help guide the effort you put in. Now take your hands to your hips, and we'll start with stepping down through the right foot and start to bring your left heel toward your left sitting bone and reach your left hand down for the top of that left foot. Now that's a fine place to stay. Pausing there for now, letting the left shoulder blade draw on the back and letting that left center of the knee drop straight down toward the ground. You can take your right hand and rest it right under the belly button, giving that lower belly a little bit of a press. Then gently release and extend that left knee straight forward. And you can pause there with hands on hips, balancing on one foot, or you could wrap your hands in front of that left shin and hug the left thigh up toward your body, and then slowly press that left foot down. Now we'll work on that right foot. So we're going to bring the right heel. You can have your left hand on your hip, reach back behind, take the top of that right foot. That right shoulder blade is right on your back. Might wobble a little bit, that's fine. Take your left hand on your belly and contain it in, and allow that right foot to drop into the hand in such a way that the right shoulder blade plugs onto the back. The left knee is a little bit soft, and the left center of the knee draws straight down. Then gently release, lift that right knee. Hands can be on hips and balancing on one foot, or gather your hands in front of your right shin and hug that right thigh up toward your body. Then release it down. So we're coming back to Tadasana. Now from here, take your hands on your hip. So we're going to bring that left heel toward the sitting bone, pointing the left toe behind your head. Then externally rotate that thigh bone. Take your right hand down and try to catch the outside edge of that left foot. So we're stretching a different part of the quadriceps. The quadriceps are 4 muscles. So this is targeting more of the inner quadricep, and your left hand can be right on the belly. You might weeble, you might wobble a little bit. That's totally fine. Just exploring how that quadricep feels. So go more deeply, pull that right heel a little bit more toward your right sitting bone. And you could point your right elbow back, straight back a little more. And then let's go ahead and release. We're going to cross that left leg over so that that left foot is kind of over to the right and your legs make an X. And then just go ahead and fold down. Bring your hands to the ground, knees a little bit soft. Let your head go. Inhale. Exhale, drop the tail, slowly come on up. And then come back to Tadasana. Let's do the other side. I'll turn around like this to show you. We're going to take that right heel toward the sitting bone, and then keeping that knee more or less in alignment with the hip, externally rotate that right thigh. Reach your left hand down and reach it around for the outside. And reach it around for the outside of that left foot. And your right hand comes right onto the belly. You're breathing there. If it's too intense on your knee, then you could do the other version that we just did before with the right hand on the right foot. Just see how this feels. One more inhale. Right knee dropping right down. Exhale, gently release. Cross that right leg right over on across so you create an X. And then soften your knees and fold. Fold, let your head go. Don't mind any banging upstairs. It's the day after Thanksgiving. All the kids are home. Or it's 2 days after Thanksgiving, actually. It's all melting together. Shake your head. Now drop the tail, lift the belly, slowly come on up. Good, and then uncross. Now from Tadasana, bend your knees, melt your belly down over the thighs, let the head go, and let your head hang down. Big full inhale, exhale, hang that head a little more, and then step your feet back into downward dog. Dropping your heels toward the floor. Now lift your right heel high into three-legged dog, bend your right knee. So you're really pulling that right heel toward your left sitting bone, and then lift that left knee up, and you may feel some stretch in that quadricep from the hip, a little bit toward the outer knee. Inhale there. Exhale, knee to nose, lift your belly and slide your right foot through right between the hands. We're going to touch the left knee down. Take your right hand on top of the thigh. Take the top of that left foot flat. Start to turn, look to the right. So this is a great place to stay. You're getting a little bit of opening through that left quadricep. If you want to go a little further, now, if your knee is really bothering you, you can fold your mat over once to pad it, or you could put a blanket under that left knee. What we're working with is to pull that left toe to point up toward the sky. You can come up onto left-handed fingers, reach your right hand around, take your right hand to the top of the foot, and it's a very, very deep quadricep stretch. It's moving a little more in towards the center outer quadricep. And a couple moments there, breathing. Gently drawing that right heel toward your butt, and a little resistance of the foot into the hand. And one more inhale. And then exhale, without slingshotting that foot back, gently release, tuck the back toes, lift the left thigh, and then spin that left heel down, straighten the right leg all the way. Come up onto fingertips, lift up, lengthen. Inhale, exhale, open your elbows and fold. Look at your right hip. Drag that right sitting bone back. So the left quadricep should feel kind of warm and not engaged at all. And then bend your right knee. Drop your left knee down. Slide your right leg back. Toes are tucked. Hips to heels. Take a child's pose. And then meet back in downward dog. Pedal out the feet. Good. Spread the fingers really wide. Stretch your left heel high into three-legged dog and hinge the knee. And pull that left heel toward your right sitting bone. And stretch your left knee away from the right heel of the hand. Let's inhale there. Exhale, swing that left knee toward your nose. Slide your left foot through. And drop your right knee down. And you can take your left hand to the outer thigh. Take the top of the right foot flat. So this might be just where you stay with a little light engagement of the right gluteal. Letting that right hip drop down, giving yourself a moment to arrive and feel calm. Now you can come up onto right-handed fingers, and then you can work here, or we're going to point the right toes toward the ceiling, and you're reaching your left hand around for the outside edge of the foot, and kick that foot into the hand. Breathing there. Left shoulder blade on the back. Smooth inhale. Long, slow exhale. Gently pulling that right foot toward your body while the foot resists into the hand. You don't have to overdo. It can be very intense. We're going to inhale once more. Exhale, slowly release it down and tuck those back toes. Lift your right thigh. Spin the right heel down. Right toes are pointing toward the front of your mat. Lift up, lengthen, look forward. Then fold. Peek at your left hip. And go ahead and try, instead of making it very muscular, let that right quadricep soften in this pose. The right hip rolls down, and you breathe there, letting the torso melt over that left thigh. And inhale, and exhale, bend the left knee, drop your right knee down, slide that left leg back, big toes touch, hips to heels. Stretch the arms forward, and then let's inhale, come forward. When you exhale, come down onto your belly. Point your toes toward the back of your head. Reach around, take the tops of your feet. So now let your forehead come onto the ground. I'll try not to scuff my mic here. We're going to inch the knees back a little bit, very imperceptibly. And then we're going to slide the hands onto the feet. So the feet draw toward your butt, and your fingertips are pointing toward your knees. And we're going to lift up and point your elbows straight up and try to lift the tops of the knees off the ground a little bit. And that's going to be a deep quadricep opening. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, release, then kick the feet into the hands, hands into the feet, and come on up into Dhanurasana, bow pose. Breathing space into the belly. One more inhale, lift any amount. Exhale, release. Stack your palms, and go ahead and look neutral and windshield wiper, just massaging out the front of those quads. Breathing deeply and smoothly with a softness in your shoulders. Good. And then slide the legs back, tuck your toes, take your palms about under the elbows, and let's press back into downward dog again. A little micro bend in the knees in downward dog. Then lift the heels high onto tiptoes, tiptoe forward right between the thumbs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center. So what would a quadriceps class be without dancer pose? So feet are hip width distance. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take your hands to the hips. Press through your right foot and start to bring your left heel toward the sitting bone. Then reach your left hand down for the top of that foot. This can be a fine place to stay, keeping your drishti, your focal point, on a place starting out pretty low on the ground. Then reach your right arm up alongside the ear, so the palm is facing in toward the midline. Now again, this is great to stay, or we're going to kick the foot into the hand, hand into the foot. Draw your left knee straight back. Reach forward. And find that dancer pose, Natranjasana. Touch your right first finger and thumb together. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly bring that left knee straight down under the hip. And then step your left foot on the inside of the right inner thigh. Take your hands on your hips and hold there for a moment. Pausing to be tree pose. Be in tree pose. Tone belly. Take both hands on the belly, in fact. The soft upper body. And then point that left knee forward and release your left foot down. Let's come into the other side. Shift into your left foot, hands on hips. Lightly draw that right heel toward the sitting bone. Reach around for the top of that right foot. Again, with the right knee straight down, that's a great place to stay. Or reach your left arm up, fingertips reaching toward the sky. Touch your left first finger and thumb. You can start to lean forward, kick the foot into the hand, hand into the foot. That right hip is going to maybe open up a little bit, but not stack on top of the left. Keep that right gluteal in mind. Inhale, kick the foot into the hand. Maybe look slightly up. Exhale, gently release. Now, take your right foot, hoist your right foot up to the inner left thigh. If that's not available, you can just touch your foot onto the inner calf, or even just stand in Tadasana. Place both hands on your belly. A little micro bend in that left knee. Soft upper body, soft shoulders. Now point your right knee forward And slowly release your right foot down and step your feet about mat width distance apart and fold. And take your hands on your back and go ahead and interlace your hands and wring your arms away from the back. Let your head go. Inhale, exhale, let it out. Good. And then without letting your arms drop down too haphazardly, lightly release your fingertips and your hands come down to the ankles. And then plant your palms and step back into downward dog. Now from downward dog, come into tabletop. Walk your knees forward, cross your ankles, and sit behind your heels. So what other ways can we torture the quadriceps today? Let's try this one. Now this is really hard. If you have a knee issue, you can just skip this. Just take it moderately. We're going to shift into the outer right thigh, and we're going to pull that left heel toward your outer butt. So we're going to take about a half hero pose. So what you're looking to do is eventually be able to lay the top of that left foot on the ground. And then that left knee is pointing straight forward, and you kind of scoot your hip to the inside of the heel so you're able to sit. This can feel really unpleasant on some knees, so don't force if it's too much. Now, if you want to go even deeper here, we're going to go ahead and come down onto the elbows. Good. Or even more, trying to keep the hips pretty equal. Rest your left hand on that foot and just make your way to lay on the back in this reclined hero. You can either keep your hand just resting on that foot, or you can take your left arm alongside the ear and get more of an opening on that left side body. Breathing there. Smooth inhale. Long exhale, let your shoulder go. Loosen up your jaw. If you can bear it, stay for a little longer if you want. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and take the right arm up, and then so you don't have to hoist yourself up again, we're just going to roll right over to the right. Roll on your right, reach your left hand around for the top of that foot. Kick the foot into the hand into the foot. A little more stretch there. Then extend that left heel out. Reach your left arm up. Touch the palms together. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to come on to the back. And hug your knees in. Take a couple of circles. Good. Well, we got to do the other side. So take your hands under the knees. Gently rock up. Now we'll do the other side. Extend your left leg out. Take the top of your right foot on the ground as much as you feel you can. That right knee is going to be about in alignment with the hip. And then that right sitting bone is going to drop on the inside of the right heel. You can always just skip this and just come and meet me on the back without doing this part. Okay? And then we start to come back, come down. This can be fine to stay, pressing that right knee away from the hip. You may be able to make your way down onto the back tactfully. And then reach that right arm up alongside the ear, palm facing up. Oh, that's a big opening from the right palm down to the inner knee. So don't overdo. If this is too intense, you can roll to your left side and kick the leg out. You don't have to stay if it's super, super intense. There is a nice kind of curvature in the lower back. That's fine. And we'll inhale and we'll exhale. And then we're going to slowly reach your left arm up and roll over onto your left. And then we'll reach your right hand down for the top of the foot. Kick the foot into the hand into the foot, lengthening that right knee away from your hip. And then release, stacking the feet, reach your right arm up, and then we'll slowly roll on to the back. And then hug both knees in. Take some circles with the knees. Good. And then extend your feet toward the ceiling, point, flex, circulate the toes around. And then take a little bear paw hands with the fingertips tucked under and tap those quads from the knee down to the hip, and from the outer knee down to the hip a couple times. And then full happy baby. Nice evening out, rocking side to side. And take your 2 first fingers around your big toes and extend your heels toward a V if that feels okay. Good. Then release, soles of feet together, knees splay open into your bound angle pose. Breathing there. And then go ahead and scoop the knees together. Bring your feet mat width distance apart. Lift up your hips and just really kind of squeeze your butt a little bit there, and then lay your lower back down. Rest your hands on your belly and take constructive rest pose for a few smooth, steady breaths as we release into a final meditation. Imagining a lot of warmth through the quadriceps and into the hips as the thigh bones drop down into the hips really nicely. And find compassion for your body. Find a sense of awe and gratitude for your body and what it's able to do. Think of your intention for practice and celebrating with gratitude each breath and anything at all you have to celebrate. Lingering a little bit longer with the broadness of the lower back supported. And then slowly begin to windshield wiper your knees side to side, wringing out. Taking nice back and forth windshield wipers. And when you're ready, you can windshield wiper right over to either side and slowly make your way up to sit. Come up to sit in hero pose, gently sitting on your heels, taking a moment to offer some warmth to the quadriceps. And go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. I'm wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and trust on the journey. Namaste. If you have any class requests or themes you want me to focus on, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, and please hit that super thanks button to keep supporting my channel. And it helps me spread yoga far and wide and all of the healing benefits that yoga offers. All right, I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Keep it up. Bye-bye.